Hello, I'm Brandon Barron, and I'm here to talk about how to record um, record a simple band setup consisting of drums, bass, guitar, rhythm guitar, lead guitar, and then vocals and background vocals. So a little about myself: I've been recording in my little home studio for about 2 years now. I've had some experience in recording in a professional setting. I've also done extensive research through sites such as Sweetwater, who actually have a lot of big catalog on how to record different approaches and tips and tricks um, on how to record different instruments, record them different ways and capture sounds. So and I will be discussing how I record and record at least how I layer it to properly mix my own songs. So starting off with the bass and drums, I like to have them both centered, especially the bass. In my opinion, my philosophy, it's the bass. It should be the bass of the song. So I usually have that centered, panned in the center, and then I had the volume kind of set below, not too below, but below enough so it doesn't overtake everything, and it just sits there and kind of keeps everything together. So at all times, and so now moving on to the drums. Again, at least you're been recording. I use Easy Drummer. I look into their recording tracks, the volume faders, and everything there. And there's at least 6 to 8 different channels for each microphone to capture every different part of the drums. You have from the overheads to capturing the toms, the snare, the crash cymbals, and everything. So, and I don't have anything hard panned. I'm a big believer not in hard panning um, everything, and actually I don't like hard panning at all. I rarely ever do. Um, I like to have everything well balanced, like so wherever platform you're listening on, whether it be headphones, their stereo, your car, wherever you're listening, it's always important to capture the sound, have it sound, you know, the same as close as possible, whether you're listening through earbuds, headphones, studio quality headphones, or your car stereo. So then moving on to the guitar, but I'll start with the rhythm guitar. Usually you're gonna have at least two tracks. I usually have at least two to three, how depending on what style of music and how the song is, and so. But if I'm gonna have like a generally like a hard rock style music, yeah, I usually have at least two to three, especially if I want to layer a bunch of a lot of big guitar sounds, the more layers and layering, especially heavily distorted guitars. It's important to make sure it sounds clean as possible, so when you play it and it gels with the other music and it doesn't overpower, and you hear them all the instruments. So it's most importantly they have all the instruments complement each other, not just overtake each other, trying to steal the spotlight from each other. It's very important. So when it comes to recording rhythm guitars, I always record it with a less distorted tone than I would with a lead tone, so I can layer more more layer rhythm tracks, so it doesn't get all messy and muddy sounding. So then I usually like with pan them one left, one right, and depending on the two, and then if I have a third one, I usually will probably put that in the middle, that towards the middle, not completely center, but close to the middle, as opposed to ones being left and right. So then with the left guitar, the main guitar, um, the lead guitar, that's will be on the whole, track by a channel, track by itself. So when I don't have vocals, the guitar will be at the same level as the lead vocals will be. So that's the spotlight for the guitar solo. So then I'll have that taken over, and then if I have like background guitar solos, I'll have that on a separate track, a whole other track. Then that will be a little lower in volume than what the lead guitar track would be, the main lead. So again, so not to overpower. There's vocals going on, background vocals. It doesn't, um, you know, steal the spotlight. Again, it's like, all together, and so it doesn't distract you, or it doesn't take away from the overall song experience. Um, so then my process for recording vocals would be the same as for guitar. Had the main rhythm, the main vocals, louder than what the background vocals would be. Um, so then, background vocals, I would pan them left and right, and harmonies too, and layer them. And that's one thing you don't have to worry about. Heavy amounts of distortion. You can just layer as many as you want. Is a good amount. It's a good amount in recording them, and you properly the volume adjustments and everything, and then if you want to, feel free to throw on some compression that just smooth it out. Maybe some reverb, and to give some area, some ambience, um, and then so um, so those are my thoughts and my opinions and my suggestions. What I've learned a lot of this through trial and error. Um, I noticed when I would take in some classes in college for recording audio production, that greatly gave me so much more, um, so much info, on how to properly record and everything. And I owe a lot also to from Sweetwater, because they have such a huge wealth of um, how to record everything. And so yeah, I definitely recommend trying looking at Sweetwater, what they offer, how to record everything. They have so many videos and articles and everything, so much informative stuff. Um, so this has been my little podcast on my 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 tips and tricks, if you will. A lot of people, I believe I got enough from Sweetwater. I believe they use that, so I thought that would be, so on how I record my songs. So I hope you enjoyed this. Bye bye.